Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first session of our Read Aloud Leadership Hour. This is Justin T. Manning of Metal Act Incorporated with the Metal Club Kids, and we will be discussing money basics out of the famous book, The Nickels, Dimes, and Dollars book, A Wise Kid's Guide to Money Matters. And we're going to be discussing different uses of money, how to budget properly, as well as hopefully how to use money in the way we want to build our dreams. So, for us to make this happen, we have to give a huge shout out to Kit Lightament, Common Sense, for providing this financial literacy program. But most importantly, we want to thank you guys for joining us. I see we have Haley joining us, and we have who's that joining us here today? I can't hear you. Haley and Xavier. Hey, good afternoon. How are you guys? Good. You guys want to learn a little bit more about money?
Yes.
Awesome. I want to do the same thing with you guys. Money is in such an important part of our lives, and money lets people buy the things that they need, but it also lets people buy the extra stuff that they want. So, we're going to go ahead and get started with some money basics. What is money? Why do we need so much money? Well, because it's important, we have to understand why people have money. And people have money because it gives them opportunities and choices in their lives. For example, having money can give people the opportunity to go to college, take a vacation, or live where they want to. Imagine having a chance to live in Spain or Italy or even other parts of Brooklyn, New York. You can do that with money. Having money can also help people be independent. That means that they can rely on themselves and to get the things that they need. Making, saving, and sharing money often builds confidence. They are accomplishments and can make people feel proud of themselves. Money also provides people with a feeling of security. So when people have extra money set aside, they're they are more prepared for unexpected events. For example, let's say if someone loses their job or if their car breaks down, having extra money will let that person handle their problems more easily. So let's run that back. Let's say something were to happen. Once we build that confidence and once we become independent, we have all these unlimited opportunities. We can go and buy ourselves a PlayStation if we want to, and of course, the games and an extra controller. But if something happens to our sources of money, then we no longer feel secure with that money. Money brings security, so we can go and spend confidently. It also helps to improve the lives of others through charity. So some folks decide to use their money for nonprofits or donating towards clothing exchanges or other organizations that benefit their community or other charitable causes. And this is great because if you have extra money, you can use that money to help someone else build confidence and towards their own security. So as you can see, money does affect people's way of lives, builds their confidence, and helps them with their money management. So, if you are ready to spend some money, know how to earn money, then of course we can learn how to be in charge of our money. Let's take a look at some of the value of money. Before we talk about the kind of money we use today, let's look back in history and learn why we use money in the first place. Kind of makes sense. Why can't we ever just do a handshake agreement and say, sure, I'll give you this iPhone for a piece of broccoli? Because sometimes that just doesn't make sense. It's all about value. And a long time ago, people did not have money, but they did have needs. They needed food, shelter, and clothing. So, thousands of years ago, people traded the things they had, like food or fur, in exchange for the other things that they needed. For example, a farmer who grew grapes might trade three bunches of grapes for a dozen apples from the apple farmer. Or a basket maker who needed shoes might trade two baskets for one pair of shoes from the shoemaker. They try the key to trading, which is also called bartering, was to decide the value of things. In other examples, if everyone agreed that three bunches of grapes were worth a dozen apples, then there has to be a standard for fair trades. So, What this is basically saying is we agree that a handshake for a phone is probably not the best idea. However, people are willing to trade for needs. While a handshake is something that is less secure, I can definitely trade you for something that we both need. I need grapes, you need apples. Let's make this happen so that way we can transfer our needs, such as food, shelter, and clothing. That's awesome. So let's go ahead and go to our first exercise. This is called the trading post. Fill in the blanks below to see how you value different items and services. Is there something that your sister, brother, or a friend has that you'd really like? What is it? Now think of something you have that you'd be willing to give to them and that you think they'd want in exchange for that item. What's that? So let's go ahead and break down the first two questions they have. Is there something your sister or your brother or friend would really like? I'll give you guys 10 seconds to think of an answer here. Is there something that you guys want? Something
Bike.
that you know the other person wants? Hmm. Give you guys five, four,
A,
three,
a
two,
bike. Computer.
one. Let's begin. Okay, Haley. Haley, what is something you think your brother has that you would really like?
A bike.
Haley says that she wants Xavier's bike. Okay, Xavier, what do you think Haley has that you would really like?
Um, Computer.
Okay, so Xavier has his mind on a computer. Awesome. So we have a bike and we have a computer. They both want that. Now think of something you have that you'd be willing to give to them and that you think they'd want in exchange for that item. So if you want a computer and yet the other person wants a bike, what is it that you think you guys are going to exchange for that item? I'll give you guys 5 seconds to think about it. Four,
A
three,
bike.
two, one. Xavier, let's start with you. In your case, you want Haley's computer, but what are you willing to exchange?
Bike.
The bike. Okay, he wants to give up the bike. Haley, what are you willing to exchange?
Um, my computer.
Okay, so she is willing to do the computer. Sounds like we have a deal, potential deal, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting hot. So, is there a service that you might like someone to do for you? Maybe reading to you, doing the dishes for you, or scratching your back? Xavier, Haley, what service would you like someone to do for you? In my case, if I was your age, I wanted someone to do the cleaning in my room. My room was messy. I didn't want to do it. What do you want to do, Xavier?
Uh, Go trick or treating and wish the virus wasn't here.
So Xavier is saying he wants someone to do the trick or treating for him, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so Xavier wants to stay home so he can get his own treats from someone else. That might be a side deal or so, but definitely a good start. How about you, Haley? Is there a service
Um,
that you want someone to do for you?
cleaning, cleaning my room.
Okay, she took my answer. So she says, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to have someone else do that for me. Give the Windex to that guy. Cool. Now, if that person does what you guys just mentioned, clean the room and doing the trick or treating, what service could you do for them in return? Hmm. Let's say I was the guy that can clean the room. I'm the guy that can do trick or treating. What would you do for me to get me to do trick or treating and clean your room for you?
Washing the dishes.
Okay, so I would clean your room if you wash my dishes. That's a really good one there, Haley. How about you, Xavier?
Give you $100.
Ah, now this case, he's trying to make a financial transaction. He says he's going to give me $100. And I'm one person. Do I need the money or do I want someone to do chores for me? It's actually a really good deal there. Let's see. Depends how many dishes we got. A fair trade would be this book for this book, or trading this toy for this toy. This is exactly what we need to start thinking about how bartering works, guys. Start thinking about it. If you guys want the iPhone, what are you going to do for the iPhone? You need to make a deal. We need to agree on something. Just like in the previous example, where it was for 3 batches of grapes for a dozen apples. Maybe you guys can trade your bicycle for a laptop, and maybe you'll add a little bit more towards that. But that's exactly what folks do when they are bartering and trading for money. So let's take a look at the history of how this money came about. We call this history of money currency. Say currency.
Currency.
Currency. Currency is a barter system worked well if people traded similar goods, like in the case of the grape farmer and the apple farmer. But what if the grape farmer didn't want apples? And instead, I want wood to build a house. I don't want apples anymore. Trading has become more and more complicated as people have more needs and wants. So in this day and age, I might come to Haley and say, you know what, Haley, I don't want an iPhone anymore. I want an Xbox. What is Haley going to do to give me an Xbox that she has? And if Haley comes to me and says, I'll give you a bicycle, I'm not sure if I want a bicycle when I have to do Xbox. So to make exchanges easier, people invented the idea of using local items to represent something of value. These items became known as currency or money. So guys, hey guys, say currency again. Perfect. Currency means what?
Money.
Very good, Haley. Say it again. Currency.
Currency.
Currency is what?
Money. Money.
Perfect. Now, back in the day, you know what they used for money, for currency? Cattle, aka also known as cows. They use cows. It's the oldest forms of money ever used. Throughout history, people have always used bees, pebbles, spices, seashells, gold, or even teeth as the local currency. But today, as in most other parts of the world, people use coins and paper, dollars to buy and sell the things they need. Do you guys receive allowance?
Yes.
I see you guys looking on to the side. Good answer. Safe answer is say yes. If you guys receive allowance, then that means that you guys have received a form of currency, such as a dollar, for performing a specific task. This dollar is your history of currency. Of course, there's ways for you to earn that dollar, but you notice on that dollar that the bills look different. Now, in the United States, we have the $1 bill, a $2 bill, not really in circulation, $5 bill, a $10 bill, a $20 bill, $50 bill, and $100 bill. So, pop quiz. Who is on the front of the $1 bill? Xavier, I see your hand.
George Washington.
George Washington is correct. Good job. Let's keep it moving. Who is on the $5 bill? Xavier, go for it.
Abraham Lincoln.
Very good. Let's move up one more. The $100 bill. And your hint is P. Diddy and the Bad Boy family. Probably before your time. Definitely before your time. But definitely one of the largest bills you can have. Who is on the $100 bill? Benjamin. What's his last name? Going once?
Franklin.
Very good, Xavier. Xavier, you got all three. Good job. Benjamin Franklin is on the $100 bill, and there are others that are there on that bill. So when you get allowance, take a look at the very front of the bill to see who's there. Now, that's just the United States. What if I told you that every dollar bill is different depending on the country? Have you guys ever wanted to travel to other countries that you've seen on the internet or a globe? Xavier's nodding his head. How about you, Haley? Where have you wanted to go, Haley?
Uh, Germany.
Germany's a really good one. So, how about you, Xavier?
I want to go to California and Texas.
Now, those both are in the United States. Very cool. Is there a place you want to go to outside of the United States, Xavier?
Canada.
Okay, you want to go to Canada. Now, my question to both of you is what type of currency or money do they use in Canada? And what type of money do they use in Germany? We're not really sure. You know why? Because those countries do not take the US dollar. What if I told you there are other different currencies around the world? So if you wanted to go to, let's say, I don't know, Japan, Japan doesn't use a dollar. They use something called yen. You gotta say yen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good. Now, who said Germany? Your currency, if you go to Germany, is called the euro. Say euro.
Euro.
Very good. And Xavier, you want to go to Canada. I'm not too sure about Canada. Canada, you can use the US dollar, but maybe my guardian angel in my headphones can tell me that one. Nonetheless, there are other countries that use different currencies. Say currency one more time.
Currency. Currency.
There you go. Now, on this screen, it shows you all the currencies that we have for those eight, three, six, eight countries listed. We listed India, Japan, Mexico, England, United States, Germany, Israel, and Morocco. That's great. That's right. Morocco is its own country. So, have you guys heard of the Canadian dollar?
No.
All right, Xavier, if you want to check that out right after we finish, check out the Canadian dollar. I definitely didn't have any help from Chris. Okay, so let's check out some money in your pretend country. If the bills that are used around the world come in all sorts of different colors and sizes, they also show pictures of interesting people, places, and symbols. But if you were in charge of designing a bill for your own country, what would it look like? Let's say I wanted to go to Haley country.
Haley country.
Haley country. If Haley country had its own dollar, Haley, what would your dollar look like? Your currency look like?
Um,
Describe it for me. Uh,
Euro. Euro.
your country would have the euro? Oh, that's definitely diplomatic agreement there. All right. So since she has a treaty with Germany, how about you, Xavier? What would your currency look like? Would it
Paper.
be green? Would it be in different colors? Would it have your face on it? Would it have your favorite character? Would it be paper?
Time to stretch. Go for a walk. Or call a friend.
It would look. It
Would it
would.
tell you where to stretch, where to go?
It would look gray.
It would be gray.
I mean orange.
Your currency would be orange. Would it be orange paper or orange coin?
Orange paper.
And whose face would be on that orange paper?
Mine.
All right. Xavier Country is going to have his face on an orange sheet of paper that's going to tell you how much money is on that. That's amazing. I want to check out Xavier Country. Now, if I were to go to Xavier Country or Haley Country, maybe you guys have different ways to pay. What if I told you there are other ways to pay than just paper money? These things are called checks and credit cards. Can you guys say checks and credit cards?
Checks and credit cards.
Who wants to tell me the difference between checks and credit cards? Haley, you go first. Yes.
Wow.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and start with credit cards on the right side of the screen. This one right here, you probably see people pay plastic or whip out plastic cards when they go to pay. You know what those cards are called? Credit cards. That's right. This right here has a dollar amount electronically, but it's actually this card here is for borrowing money from a credit card company to buy purchases. Now, at the end of the month, the credit card company adds up all the money that the buyers owe and sends them bills. The buyers then pay back the credit card company. So every time when I swipe this, Xavier and Haley, I need to pay back these people at the end of the month for every time I swipe my card. But if I don't, I'll be charged extra money. There's another way too. It's called checks. Xavier, have you seen a check before?
Yeah,
What do checks look like?
pieces. They look like pieces of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Mommy and Daddy.
That mommy and daddy use, right?
Yeah.
All right. Do you know what they do?
Um,
What makes them different than a dollar paper?
that's
Okay. So checks are special pieces of paper that are blank. Where a dollar tells you how much the value is, like a dollar, $5. A check is where you put on the check, is where you write down how much you're giving to someone. You write down the name of the person in the store that they need to pay and the amount that they owe to the bank. When people write checks and reporting that they have enough money in their bank accounts to keep their promises. So let's go ahead and just do some fun stuff with you guys. This one, we're just going to do the first four questions about money, okay? Haley, you ready? Xavier, you ready?
yes.
All right, let's do it. All right, Mysteries of Money quiz. Number one. Let's start with this one. What was the largest U.S. bill ever printed? Is it A, $1,000, B, $50,000, or C, $100,000?
C.
All right, Xavier said C. What about you, Haley?
C.
Okay, they both seem to know the answer here, and you are correct. The answer is C, the $100,000 bill. This was never meant for people to use. However, it was only to make transfers between the Federal Reserve and the Treasury. We'll get into that stuff later. Here's another pop quiz for you. Ready? Who was the first woman ever shown on U.S. currency? Was it A, Rosa Parks, B, Sacagawea, or C, Martha Washington?
Uh,
Xavier, you got the floor
Arthur
first.
Washington.
All right, he's going to go with C. What about you,
Uh,
Haley?
Washington.
All right, they're both saying C. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Guess what? You're right. Martha Washington was the first woman ever shown on U.S. currency. I'll ask you guys one more question about money. True or false? True or false? There is no such thing as a $2 bill. We'll start with Haley first. Haley, true or false?
False.
She says false. How about you, Xavier?
True.
All right. One of you guys are going to be wrong. One of you guys are going to be right. Is that your final answer?
Yes. Yes.
Let's do it. There's no such thing as a $2 bill. The answer is false. There is such a thing as a $2 bill. So if you said true, you got the answer correct. Good job, Haley.
Yes.
Okay. Now, here's a question for you guys. How do you get this paper currency and this plastic card that swipes and swipes and swipes? How do you guys get it? Talk to me, Haley.
Uh, Working.
Working sounds good. How about you, Xavier? Is that what you said? I can hear you. Go ahead, Xavier.
Get a job.
You said working. You're also saying get a job. Let's break down working since that's what we're going with. Your parents, as you mentioned, give you guys allowance, right? Do your parents give you guys allowance? Yes? Xavier, Haley.
Yes.
Yes.
Good, safe answer. So, your parents must have jobs, which means that they must get their money from somewhere. They most likely, your parents, they must go to work every day. Yes, Xavier. Xavier, you speaking to me or are you speaking to someone behind the camera? I think I'm speaking to someone behind the camera. That's okay. Hopefully, that person behind the camera is working every day so they can take care of you guys and your allowances. Now, in exchange for your parents' time, their energy, and their ideas, you guys get money in return. And that's how you guys receive allowance. This is the modern day version of how the trade works. You got something against your chair? You guys okay? Let me know when you guys are ready. Did you guys do something?
Yes.
Did you guys find it?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So now, your parents, they go to work, correct?
Yeah.
Now, there are other ways which they can make money. Have your parents ever received Christmas gifts?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you guys like Christmas gifts?
Yes.
Perfect. Do you guys know about inheritance?
Yes.
Yes.
Let me hear you guys say inheritance.
Inheritance.
Perfect. Okay, Xavier, you're going to say inheritance this time. One, two, three.
Inheritance.
Perfect. Now I want you guys to say investing.
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 Okay, inheritance is what you get when something is passed down to you from your parents that are working. And investing, think of money as planting a seed, and you hope that that seed grows into a nice big flower of money. That's how people get money. Now I'm going to ask you guys if you're going to make your own dollars and you know your parents give you allowance, what can you do with money? Haley, what can you do with money?
Swipe it.
Okay, very good. You can swipe it. How about you, Xavier?
Save it.
Save it is a very good one. Let's go back to you, Haley. What else can you do with it?
Save it.
That's what he said. And
Share it.
share it. Very good. Let's go back to you, Xavier.
Earn it.
Good. Let's go back to you, Haley.
Spend it.
Good. And I think there's one more. Who wants to take it?
Grow it.
Grow it. Very good. Do you guys know the difference between all of those? I can still hear you guys. Spend it. Who likes to spend money? Raise your hand if you like to spend money. Raise your hand if you like to share money. Of course. Raise your hand if you like to save money. Raise your hand if you like to earn money. And raise your hand if you like to grow money. All right, everyone likes to grow it, and growing is investing. Now, we're going to be back this Wednesday at 5 o'clock because wise kids know how to manage this money that they save, share, and grow. As we learned everything from inheritance to learning some money trivia, as well as the different ways of how to make money. The question is, how do you manage that money you have? Do you guys know the difference between managing money and spending money? Xavier? Let's take a stab at it, Xavier. If we go and we try to manage money, you ever tried managing your, let's see, video games?
Um.
Have you ever tried to manage your homework?
Yeah.
What is managing your homework like?
Hard.
Look right at me. You got it.
Hard.
Say that a little bit more clearer.
Hard.
Managing your homework is hard. Okay. How about you, Haley?
Working hard.
Working hard? Okay. I want you guys to start thinking now about what management is like. Say management.
Management.
Okay. The
Management.
next time when we meet, I'm going to show and tell you guys what it is to manage money. Because if you know how to manage money, then you can grow it, share it, invest it, and share it. And that will conclude our money basics for today. Do you guys have any questions about any money, or are we looking for money underneath the chairs? Did you find anything? Maybe you guys found the allowance that your folks owe you this past Friday. Nothing at all? No questions? Okay.
Oh wait, no. What does manage mean?
I'll definitely tell you this Wednesday at 5 o'clock what it means to manage your money. Right now, you want to learn more about what is money. That you can either ask your folks about it or just Google some money. Let me know this Wednesday at 5 o'clock, and I'll definitely tell you if your answer is correct and how to manage it. Okay? Sounds good? You
I'm
guys
going
are
to
great.
school tomorrow too.
Fantastic. And tomorrow's Tuesday. Come back in with us this Wednesday at 5 o'clock. We're going to do more leadership and readership hour regarding wise kids managing money with myself, Justin T. Manning, brought to you by Metal Club Kids and the Kid Enlightenment Common Sense series. This series is one of 12 weeks that we hope to do with you guys, and it's going to be interactive. It's going to be a lot of fun, including some video games. So if you guys hang around, learn some money, we're going to have a lot of fun, okay? Fantastic. Thank you, Xavier. Thank you, Haley. And thank you to all the parents that are joining us this afternoon. We look forward to see you guys this Wednesday, 5 o'clock, for some more readership and leadership. Justin T. Manning signing out.